to touch on the gun rights gathering, the lobbying day in Richmond today, and talk a little bit about how the media looked at that. This is Craig Melvin, one of the anchors over on MSNBC, his assessment of the situation.
This is the scene in Richmond. Armed militia, white nationalist groups from all over the country taking part on MLK Day, raising fears of a dangerous confrontation.
Gabrielle Hoffman tweeting this in response to Craig, saying, "I was covering the event all morning and called BS on this. Never once felt unsafe surrounded by participants with long guns. In fact, felt safer than usual." I mean, the Associated Press and other organizations said, listen, it was largely uneventful, but there were very different descriptions about what we were looking at.
Well, there were, Shannon, and this gets to, I think, part of the cultural divide that affects our media today. There are people in our media, perhaps because of where they live, perhaps because of the places they work, who simply can't imagine that a large gathering of gun-toting American citizens are peaceful and not threatening. They're simply exercising their constitutional rights and making sure people know it. So the next thing you know, you're hearing accusations that they're white nationalists. There really isn't any evidence of any of that in what happened today. And of course, Ralph Northam, who had called a state of emergency and was and engaged in a lot of hyperbole about how dangerous this all was, ended up saying that the police presence is what kept it from being violent. There's no evidence that that's true either. But this is sort of where we are in our politics. The distrust of people with, with people with whom we disagree has reached a point where, it's not merely a disagreement over policy. Somebody's got to be a white nationalist or something equally nefarious, or else they wouldn't disagree with you. It's a bad situation.
All right. Well, Britt, that has played out happily, uneventfully, as all had hoped.